This is an All Sports Station production.
Today, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd, and they're all set as they'll match up with the Tennessee Titans. Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Fielded in the end zone, and no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Tennessee offense set to go to work for the first time, and at QB, the man signed to a big 4-year deal back in March. That's Ryan Tannehill.
Not only did Ryan Tannehill resurrect his career in 2019, he may now serve as a blueprint for quarterbacks looking for a second opportunity. He moved from Miami to Tennessee, took over the starting job for Marcus Mariota in Week 7 last year, and wound up leading the NFL in quarterback rating. And the Titans went 8-3 in his 11 starts, snuck into the playoffs, and went to the AFC Championship game. His future is bright in Nashville, and he expects to be the starter there for many years to come.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Second and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Quick slant to Brown. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Nice play on the ball by A.J. Brown, and he comes up with the reception. He had a terrific 2019 as a rookie. The first one since 1970 to go over 1,000 yards receiving and average over 20 yards per catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. This one caught by Davis. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Tannehill finding Davis for a Titan first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep their own doing pretty well.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So that'll back him up 5. After the penalty, it's Henry. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. 2nd and 12. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. And that'll set them back 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. They will find Davis. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
First down carry for Henry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Tannehill. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end, and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Here's Tannehill. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jeff Swaim there to make the grab. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Just how they wanted to start this one, in the end zone on their first possession.
And that just happened. How about that play right there? As you said, opening possession, setting the tone for everything. Now I'm going to look forward a little bit now because everyone should be celebrating his catch in the end zone. The tight end gets a little bit of love. But if you're a receiver on the team, you should be thinking to yourself, boy, oh boy, things are going to open up the rest of the game if they have to focus on him as well.
And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that one, a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a Tennessee score. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. The return man, Wilson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bengals set and ready to go on offense, leading the charge out of LSU. Joe Burrow, the #1 overall pick back in April.
When you read off Joe Burrow's numbers his last year at LSU, they almost don't even seem correct. I mean, 76% of his passes complete. That's the second best all-time at the collegiate level. Ended up throwing 60 touchdown passes, accounted for 65 touchdowns, and only threw 6 interceptions and won a national championship. Joe Burrow is not just a terrific player. He has that it factor as well, and that's what they're counting on in Cincinnati.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. And he'll drop here to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Drew Sample, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Everyone in the NFL is looking for mismatches, and T. Higgins' size and speed at receiver, that allows him to have those type of mismatches against most defenders. 6'4", ability to flat-out fly. They can use him everywhere, including in the slot. He's a dangerous playmaker and a big-time producer in the red zone.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Nice carry there by Derrick Henry. Picks up a first down. And when you say workhorse, you're thinking about Derrick Henry. Won the rushing title in 2019 with 1,540 yards on the ground and 16 rushing touchdowns. Went to his first Pro Bowl and carried his team to the AFC Championship game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Tannehill. He'll get this one complete to Davis. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Titans. Corey Davis, 77 yards. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Gostkowski for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati coming off a close loss Week 6 against Indianapolis. Actually had a 21-point lead, but Phillip Rivers brought Indy back in the second quarter, and the Colts ultimately won it 31-27. Now late in the fourth, since he was driving for the winning score, but Joe Burrow, he threw an interception with 52 seconds left in the game. And Charles, Cincy now at 1-4-1, but they have been in pretty much every game, I think with the exception of one. So while you don't want moral victories, we know about that, but they got to feel better than they did last season.
Well, they certainly do, because they are more than competitive. But the biggest thing they've got to do is start to take care of that rookie quarterback, their #1 pick, Joe Burrow. He's been sacked 24 times already. That's second most in the NFL behind Carson Wentz at 25. And the pressure that's in his face consistently, they've got to find a way to slow that down. Now, we know they're in the basement in the toughest division in the NFL right now, the AFC North. But they have 2 home games coming up, Cleveland and Tennessee. Then they get an open week, and they'll need that open week. But if I were looking at an upset special, I'd look at Cleveland this week. The Browns coming off a tough one in Pittsburgh. Quarterback a little bit dinged up. Who knows? They played them tough the first time in Cleveland.
A gain there of 21 yards.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Burrow will throw. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. On the right side, caught by Green. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice catch there by A.J. Green, and at the beginning of his career, a perennial Pro Bowl receiver. Been dinged up a little bit the last 2 years, but now he gets a fresh start. Without his friend and quarterback, Andy Dalton, his leadership will be key.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Right there.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow looking for the end zone. 4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So on 4th down, Burrow will give way to Randy Bullock for the Bengals field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Now, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. And the Tennessee Titans at 5-0 for just the 2nd time in franchise history. They get a Week 6 win, 42-36 over the Texans in overtime. And in that game, the Titans, a franchise record as far as yards of offense, 601. Derrick Henry, a big chunk of those, over a third of them, 212 yards, a 94-yard touchdown run, the longest in the NFL this season. And he had the game winner in OT. So the Titans, Charles, with Ryan Tannehill under center, they just keep on rolling.
They certainly do. Ryan Tannehill, remember, he took over from Marcus Mariota last year. He's now 14-4 as the Titans starter. 4 touchdown passes in the game, including the big one to A.J. Brown late in the ballgame to get them to overtime. So I love how this schedule's working for them, because now they're going to get a monster game at home against unbeaten Pittsburgh. Then they're at Cincinnati, and then they take on Chicago at home and Indianapolis as well. This is going to tell a little bit more about this Titans team, but you have to love what you're seeing so far because you think of defense with them because of their head coach Mike Vrabel, but their offense is dynamite.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. And this one is incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and now it's 3rd down.
But we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's his 2nd drop right here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the 1st quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Tannehill. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Last year's All-Pro punter Brett Kern comes on for Tennessee. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And a good pickup there by Mixon, and that shows the talent that he has. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 4th in the NFL in 2018, 9th last year. But I look for those numbers to jump back up again with the introduction of new talent in Cincinnati.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Titan football. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll start with a give to Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Tannehill. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Oh, it's a jet sweep. Here's Davis. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. He'll run it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Stephen Gostkowski for the Tennessee field goal.
From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
He's going to drop this one down to Bernard.
And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Shoves him aside. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Tannehill now to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Tannehill. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10.
At the 20.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Joe Mixon. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun. It's Burrow. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taken in at the 22. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Tannehill on 1st down. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Tannehill. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Now Burrow on 1st down. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now Burrow to throw on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Burrow. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow on the screen, Bernard. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And Burrow going to throw again. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30.
Burrow to Higgins, rookie to rookie for a Bengal first.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now it's Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw Derrick Henry muscle his way through a strong first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mixon with it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
54
On 2nd down, Burrow voids the target, and he has it over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 45-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Nice job there by Tyler Boyd finishing off the connection on the throw. Over 1,000 yards receiving each of the last 2 seasons with 90 catches in 2019. Was thought to be a complimentary receiver, but with A.J. Green out much of the time, he became a reliable and consistent target.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Again, he'll target Boyd, this time successful. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 22-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Mixon with a first down carry. Daquan Jones in on the tackle there.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Smith with a first down and more. Sheds off the tackle. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Let's go.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run with Henry. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. On 2nd and 7, Tannehill. And that is caught by Davis for a Tennessee touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The point after try for Gostkowski. And the lead is up to 14. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work.
He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 24. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin with Henry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He finds Humphries. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 41. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Tannehill, and that's caught by Smith. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. This one caught by Davis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw, Tannehill. Man open left side is Brown. That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Tannehill. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Make that now 4 touchdown passes for Ryan Tannehill. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 24.
He'll set up to throw from the gun.
This one hauled in by Sample.
7 yards the pickup there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Right there.
On 2nd down, Bernard. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Burrow, and able to find Green. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. First down. Here's Burrow. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
On the run, it's Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Now, he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Again, it's Henry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Tannehill. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Good gain there on first down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Tannehill. Steps away to his left. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
First down carry for Henry. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 more yards there and another first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. The Titans on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Mike Vrabel saw him on the sideline. He didn't even hesitate. They will go for it on 4th. They'll run. It's Henry. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Green's got it over the middle. And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Burrow. On the slant, complete to Green. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And Burrow going to throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. It was Kenny Vaccaro there to get a hand on that one.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 41-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They've become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Burrow able to find Sample. That's complete. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. He's got his man, Boyd. And they'll get this down to the 10. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. That's exactly what they got done.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Bengals score. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And the Titans are going to recover the football. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The Titans set and ready to go on offense. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. On first down, Henry. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Henry. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Now Tannehill. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The Titans go victory formation down to a knee. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. But, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.